Hey, shop owners. Are unanswered negative reviews sabotaging your hiring efforts? Here's the reality. That lone one-star negative Yelp review that you ignored, it's turning wrenches against you. Job-seeking techs scan your reviews first, and silence equals guilt. In three recent client campaigns that we dissected, the common killer wasn't pay or perks, it was unanswered complaints tanking trust. So the solution is to commit to replying to every review. If you need a shortcut, my free GPT drafts polished responses in seconds so your inbox excuses are gone. So respond, rebuild trust, and watch qualified applicants stop dropping off on your application page. We've helped over 200 independent repair shops hire faster, and we've seen what works firsthand. Give me a few minutes and I'll lay out the playbook and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, I'm Chris Lawson with Technician Find, if you don't know me. And this week, Jill on my team was doing a deep dive on three client campaigns where the KPIs were dipping on the application page. So just like you monitor KPIs for your shop, we also monitor our KPIs to keep things running smoothly in our client campaigns. And we do that every day. And we track how many people have seen the ads, how many people have clicked on the ads, how many people have landed on the application page, and how many people actually apply. So when we have great view stats and great click-through rates, but folks land on the application page and bounce away without applying, it's a big red flag. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. And I'm going to share my screen. And I talk about this all the time with our clients. You always want to respond to negative reviews. And you respond to negative reviews, not even so much for the individual that wrote the review, because most of the time they're angry, they're crusty, they're not going to change their review, and it's not going to help out. Even if you offer an olive branch, even if you offer to make it right, they've got an axe to grind and they're just going to be upset. But when you write that negative review response, you're writing it for the thousands of people that are going to come and read that response and read that negative review later on. I think shop owners really understand, they get how important reviews are for customers, but they don't always understand how important reviews are for technicians, for service advisors, for GMs, for people that are going to Google your shop before they apply for a job. So it's very, very important to write those responses so that they can see how you respond when you're under pressure and when you get that negative review. And what I did was I created this GPT to basically cut 80% of the time down in accomplishing this. I've made it drop dead simple and it's free. You just go into the Technician Find community, and then I did a post on it last week. So here is the post inside the Technician Find community at school.com. And I took this post and then I promoted the video on Facebook, and right on cue, I got a response, this response. So what I did was I actually took one of our clients, a shop, they got a negative review. I said, hey, try out this GPT and see how it works. And they got a great response. It was really easy for them to use. They went right into Yelp, popped it in, and it was just a very simple, very smooth experience. And then I posted an ad because I just want to get the word out there because I know how damaging it can be for a shop to have negative reviews sitting out there. This is all free. I just have it out there for you so that you can use it. And I posted it. And then this guy comes in, this Neil Thompson guy, says, the complaint sounds completely legit. Great job helping bad outfits cover their behinds. So he didn't know this, he was just being being a knucklehead. But what he inadvertently did was he proved my point. My point is, when you don't respond to negative reviews, individuals like this just see one side of the story and then they just take that as the truth. And we all know that there are two sides to every story. We all know, if we're business owners, we all know that there are customers, clients who have legitimate gripes. And we also know that there are customers and clients who don't really have legitimate gripes. They just like to gripe. They like to say things, and it's not always true. So responding to these negative reviews gives you an opportunity to show that you're professional. It gives you an opportunity to tell your side of the story. And it also shows that you are active and engaged with everybody that comes to your business. And it shows that you have processes in place in order to handle these types of things. So you don't want people going away with this thoughts that this Neil guy has of saying, hey, that sounds like a legitimate review to me without, and he didn't even read the response, of course, because I only have a little clip. I only have the first sentence of the response. So we know he didn't read the response. He just immediately read the negative review. And since the response wasn't available for him to read, I know he didn't go digging for it. But if it's on the page, they're going to be able to see both of them side by side. And then your potential employees and potential customers will have a legitimate view of what you are all about. And then I have one last point. So going back to those campaigns, on those campaigns for those three clients that we are working with this week, what ended up happening is they have great numbers on the front end. The ads, the views, the click-through rates, the people that land on the application page, all those things were fantastic. And then once they get to the application page, they bounced off. So what usually ends up happening what is the case when we're troubleshooting campaigns where people fall off on the application page is the big thing normally is that the salary and the benefits are just not competitive. If you're advertising for an A-Tech and you're significantly below market rates for A-Techs, they're not even going to apply if you are publishing something that's significantly below. So we always like to make sure that we're competitive with salary and benefits. And then the second thing is it can just be location. It can be a rural location and it's tough to get people to move there. It can be a bad location that people don't want to go into, a shop that's just in a rough part of town that people are wary about. And then the third thing is reputation. If they're excited by the ad, they click, find out a little bit more information, they Google you, and then they see a bunch of negative reviews that aren't responded to, then that's going to make them not apply. So if you're having those problems with drop-offs, then this is a way that you can address that. And again, my point is we've made it easy for you. There is a GPT right here in the school community. If you come into the school community and you come to the classroom, I've built lots of AI tools for you. And you can go down to the negative review response generator. And then you just click on this button here. It'll take you right into ChatGPT. And then you click here and it will start asking you questions. And once you answer those questions, boom, it asks you, please paste the full text of the negative review, copy it exactly as it appears. Once I have that, we'll move on to the next step. And then you just go through the prompts. It just takes a few minutes and it'll spit out something for you. You just clean it up, put your magic touch on it, and then you just pop it right into the review. So I hope this helps. And I hope you're responding to all of your reviews, the good ones and the bad ones, because it's going to help you not only get more customers, it's also going to help you get better employees. Take care.